It's a very, very wild film. It starts with a birthing scene with a guy delivering a baby in an alleyway. He doesn't know the mother of the baby. The people are shooting at him. So it's a full-blown shootout whilst delivering a baby. He ends up with the newborn. She ends up dead. And for some reason, the world and his wife are after this baby, and there's one crazy shootout after another.
What was appealing to you? Why did you want to take this role on? What was the character kind of?
To be honest with you, I was told about the film and I was pitched it and I was like, that sounds crazy, I'm not sure, it's going to be my thing. And then I read it and I couldn't stop laughing. I thought the guy is absolutely wild and insane. And it was just so witty. It was a crazy action film, but with such crazy black humour in it. And I met him and I thought he could pull it off, and that's it. Mainly I thought he was hilarious.
What kind of preparation did you have to do? Any kind of training, gun training or anything like that?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, it was really, really demanding because there are huge action sequences, and the way the director likes to shoot is he's got this theory that in action films it's great to stay with the guy doing the action, so it makes you feel like you're the guy doing it rather than go wide and see. And he just meant that he needed me to do as much as I possibly could because he wanted to be that, see me in the thick of it all the time. So it was very physically demanding, and then there's an awful lot of gunplay, and I spent a long time in those firing ranges getting used to an array of weapons.
Cool. It kind of reminded me, have you seen the Chow Yun-Fat movies?
Yeah.
That kind of...
Well, it was certainly inspired. There's a John Woo movie that where he's got a little baby in a hole sort of shootout.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure whether he admitted it or not, that Michael must have been inspired by that.
Cool. What was the deal with the carrots?
It was a crazy thing that my character did, which is that he eats carrots because they're good for the eyes, and he uses those carrots in very inventive ways.
For you, what was the most difficult part for this? Was it the how much was you, and how much was it?
There was a huge amount of it me, and even during the sort of there's a free fall, from plane shootout, and
right.
I was strung up on wires for about a week. So there was an awful lot, that was me doing it, because as I say, Michael likes to come in close and make sure you see it's the guy doing it.
Do you relate at all to that character, the kind of angry side to him? Because I know I stopped driving because I can't deal with the fuckos on the, not doing the indicators and all of that. I stopped driving because of that. Did you relate to him?
Yeah, that's certainly one of the most attractive traits about a character, is that he gives jerks their comeuppance. That's a good thing.
Yeah, that was a very good thing. I've seen loads and loads of films in my time, but I've never seen. There was a lot of intelligent shooting going on. One of the bits that kind of, when you had his hand against the hand dryer in that kind of fight, the hand dryer kind of.
He is highly original, and that's why I wanted to do the movie, because even the action was sort of original and witty, and you're thinking, how does he think of that? And it's the guy's completely crazy about action, and obviously spends days on end just thinking out what would be really cool in an action sequence. And he did this animated pitch to get the movie made. He went to the studio and he drew all the action sequences with these stickmen to pump in music to show you how inventive the action's going to be. This isn't going to be just your average shootout. And that's what sold the film to the studio, and to a certain extent it sold it on me.
Yeah, I want to see that. I think that's on the internet somewhere.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah.
Right, the music's good. That's not a thing to do with you though, really, is it? The music thing. Lots of rock. You didn't choose any of the music, no? You just done the action. Right, you were with Monica in the film. There's a crazy sex scene with how difficult was that shooting? Unprotected sex as well. That's not very good. I don't know. That's endorsing that kind of thing. You had no time.
I'm glad you brought the scene.
Yeah, because that's what I thought.
Yeah, good. Look, yeah. No, again, he animated that sequence, and it's very funny on the animation, but it was physically impossible to actually achieve, so we did it as best we could.
Yeah.
It's a very inventive shootout.
It worked really well. Was it your idea to keep your English accent, or was it Michael's, or
It was no. He wrote it with me in mind, and when he came to me, that was what it was, and he said, I'm sure he'd change it to an American if somebody else had ended up doing it, but no, it was always that.
That was cool. You against Paul G, kind of the two different accents as well. Tell me a bit about working with Paul G.
Well, amazingly, Michael got the 3 people that he wanted for the film, and for a guy who hasn't directed a film on this scale before, it was pretty amazing. He came after me, and I said yes. He went after Monica, she said yes, and he went after Paul. And Paul's like the perfect foil in a way. He's like, you know, he's a brilliant actor, and the one thing about a film like this is, however heightened and crazy and insane it is, you need to center it with some sort of intentful acting, because otherwise it just sort of floats off and everyone's like, what is this? So as soon as he said yeah, I knew that we were, you know, we had a very solid cast, and you know, he's a great actor, and he's brilliant in the film.
What would you say is quite exciting about this movie
I think
the other action
the amount of
flicks?
times you see a movie and you hear people saying it's unlike anything, but genuinely it is. From the minute this film kicks in, you only have to watch the first 5 minutes of the movie and you'll go, I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this before. And it delivers all the way through. I mean, it is literally, it has a relentless pace to it, and there's just one crazy shootout, and it unashamedly says from the beginning, we will deliver certain things in this movie, and one of them is very wicked, very witty, full voltage action, and it comes through with that.
Definitely. Maniacs, all of you.
That's the reaction we wanted.
Everyone's going to think that, I'm telling you.
I'm so happy.
Good. Thank you very much. Top man.